UFC London, Evler versus Murphy went down last night. I was there live in the flesh. It was a decent card overall. A couple of stinkers on the card. Controversial main event. We'll get into that in the video. In this video, I'm going to go and break down every single fight on the card and matchmake next opponents for these fighters on the card. I thought it was a decent event, better than last year's event. Last year's event was shit. We actually had some KOs this year. Yeah, questionable result in the main event. Couple of upsets on the card. But we'll get into that in the video. First fight, Chanel Dyer versus Ravine Oliveira. And a good win for Chanel Dyer in her UFC debut. Went out there, got the TKO win over Ravine Oliveira. Not the best level of opponent. She is 0-3 in the UFC. As good looking as she may be, she is not a good fighter. Round one started, Ravine Oliveira pushing forward. She landed some nice uppercuts, hooks. She's pretty marauding Chanel Dyer in that first round. Very, very aggressive. Yeah, put Chanel Dyer on the back foot. Chanel Dyer did well with some couple of leg kicks. Yeah, I'd have said Ravine Oliveira dominated that first round. Second round started, Chanel Dyer landed a nice head kick, put Ravine Oliveira down, and got the TKO win. Good win in her debut, got the performance of the night bonus. That's a lot of money for a young fighter like herself, Chanel Dyer. For her next opponent, someone low level in the division, let's not push her too fast. Maybe someone like a Yasmin Yaraguchi and Alicia Reed. Like, let's build her up nice and slowly. We don't want to push her too quick and get her fraud checked and ruin the hype. And for Ravine Oliveira, I'd like to see her cut from the UFC. She's 0-3. Yeah, not great. Good fight. Very good start to the card. Nice little KO win for Chanel Dyer. Next fight. Wow, wow, wow. Shaquem Rock. You don't even deserve to be called Shem, buddy. That is a absolute stinker of a performance. You got mogged everywhere. You didn't out-grapple Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. You didn't outstrike Karim Al-Sawadi. You just took it like a good boy. You was a punching bag. Landed near to no offense. Yeah, there's no pop in his shots. The chin's alright. Did get dropped by Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. I mean, basically, it was a stand-up fight with a couple of grappling exchanges, which Karim Al-Sawadi won. Shamrock just went out there, didn't do much. Kind of like MVP Sam Patterson. Not a great performance from Shamrock, and he probably is going to get cut from the UFC. And it's not like he doesn't deserve it. An awful performance. Made Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi look like a good striker, and he's not really, let's be honest. Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi did well with all the grappling. Yeah, I mean, he even tried giving it to him at the end of the fight, and Abdul Karim Al Sawadi was having none of it. Threw a couple of punches after the fight. I was there live. I was sitting behind Shamrock's mother, and oh my god, she is loud and annoying. She tried to rush the cage at the end of the fight. Sham, I love you, lad. Your name's Sham. Shut up. Good performance from Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, but Shamrock is going to get cut from the UFC probably. For Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, I'd like to see him stay active. It's been 2 years since his last fight before this one. Maybe give him some guy in the lightweight division coming off a couple of losses like an Elvis Brenner, a Nicholas Motta, Bonfim's brother, not the good one in the rankings in welterweight, someone like that. Yeah, good win from Abdul Karim Al Sawadi. Shamrock is shit. Sad to see is that he had some hype, chats a lot of shit, doesn't back it up. Should be cut from the UFC to be honest. We could understand the Aliev loss. Aliev is a good prospect. Yeah, offered nothing against Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, a guy kind of at the bottom of the barrel in the lightweight division, and yeah, not much to say other than Shamrock outclassed 15 straight minutes by a bottom of the barrel UFC fighter. Next up, Louis Sutherland versus Brando Perecic. Wow, this was over in 1 minute and 48 seconds. I've got something to say. Louis Sutherland's coaching seems a bit questionable to me. Mario Pinto trains at the same gym. Why is Louis Sutherland and Mario Pinto spamming takedowns? That is not part of their games. I've, Louis Sutherland has gone out there, immediately shot a takedown on Brando Perecic. Near impossible to get due to the size of Brando Perecic, the height, the weight, the mass of him. He did get it. Brando Perecic reversed him. Brando Perecic is a good grappler, solid grappler. Louis Sutherland, let's be honest, what does he do? He goes in there, stands in the pocket, bangs. And yeah, he had a bit of success in the first exchange, but Brando Perecic stuffed the takedowns, reversed it, landed some ground and pound. Louis Sutherland just rolled up into a ball like Anthony Smith. Got TKO'd in 1 minute and 48 seconds. Pretty embarrassing from Louis Sutherland. Another guy from the UK, struggling in the UFC, just like Shamrock. Lost his debut to a good prospect, Walter Walker, and goes out there against a guy that is realistically beatable, not incredible prospect. But Brando Perecic is decent now. Undefeated, I'm pretty sure he is. Or if not, he's definitely undefeated in the UFC, 2 wins. and just got destroyed. They may cut Louis Sutherland, however, due to the depth of the division, they may keep him around. Who knows? If they keep him, maybe give him a bottom of the barrel guy like Alisson, the guy that Brandon Precic beat in his debut. But for Brandon Precic, very good prospect we've got here. 2 first round KO wins, never been to the second round. And for him, I'd like to see him be built up slowly. He wants to stay active. I know there's a Perth card in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I think it's not next month. JDM Prates. Give him a mid prospect in the heavyweight division that's kind of decent to test him. Maybe like a Kennedy and Nzechukwu, someone like that. Just to see whether he's legit or not, because let's be honest, he's not KO'd 2 great prospects right now currently in the UFC. Yeah, good win from Brandon Precic, over very quickly. Louis Sutherland, I'm disappointed. I did pick Precic. Oh, I did very well on picks on this card. I only got the Shamrock and Curtis Campbell fight wrong. We'll get to Curtis Campbell in a bit. But yeah, good performance on Brandon Precic. However, Louis Sutherland isn't the greatest. Don't know why he was spamming takedowns. He may have won in the his heavyweight MMA. You know, whoever lands the big punch first is more than likely going to win. Good performance from Brandon Precic getting another KO win in the first round, going to 2-0 in the UFC. Now, another big prospect got a decent layup here. Mantas Konstravicus. It's Antonio Tricoli. Antonio Tricoli is not really UFC level. He's just a punching bag, really. This was just a comparison of his debut fight against Sharon Magomedov, where he survives, shows a bit of heart, has a bit of grappling success, but just gets beaten up on the feet and on the ground, really. In Mantas Konstravicus, it wasn't a good look. He did gas towards the end of that fight. Realistically, we was expecting Mantas Konstravicus to go out there and sleep him in the first round. But he's only young, UFC debut, big crowd, maybe in a lot of pressure. He got the win, dominant win, but Antonio Tricoli, bro, you've got to get him out of there if you want to be a real prospect. Decent on the feet, obviously, clearly better than Antonio Tricoli, went out there dominated from start to finish. However, it did get taken down. That's a bit of a question mark. If Antonio Tricoli can do that to you, then there's many good fighters in this division that will. Yeah. Dominant win, just pieced him up on the feet, landed some nasty elbows on Tricoli. Tricoli showed a lot of heart to stay in the fight, but looked a bit sloppy in that third round. Couldn't really get him out of there. The finishing ability is pretty low level from Mantas Konstravicus, clearly in the UFC. But could have been an off night for him, UFC debut, nerves and all that. I understand that. But I would like to see Antonio Tricoli get cut from the UFC. I think he's 4-0-4 now, lost to not Mikhail Pratt, Abus Magomedov, Tresean Gore, Ansur Abdul Malik, I think, and now Mantas Konstravicus showed alright, showed a bit hot, but he's not UFC level. Let's be honest. I'd like to see Mantas Konstravicus get who have I written down for Mantas Konstravicus to get? Ryan Gandra had his debut recently against Jose Medina. 2 prospects that off Dana White Contender Series, match him up. We'll see if they're legit or not. Yeah, someone low level in the middleweight division like that. I'm not too high on Mantas Konstravicus after seeing his performance. Got the win, but looked a bit questionable on the feet. Tricoli had a bit of success as well in the later rounds. Tricoli, yeah, he got dominate the first 2, but Manchester couldn't get him out there and did win in the third. Got Tricoli. I would like to see Tricoli get cut though. Decent win from Mantas Konstravicus, however, should really be finishing Antonio Tricoli in the UFC. Another awful heavyweight fight. Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. Mario Pinto, this is not it, bro. What was the game plan? Felipe Franco is an undersized heavyweight. He's really a light heavyweight, let's be honest. Felipe Franco is like 6 foot. I think he was at 220. So realistically, he's a light heavyweight. Mario Pinto, solid striker in the division. Goes in there against the guy, Felipe Franco. Felipe Franco is a good grappler. So what does Mario Pinto do? Decides to try and be fucking Marab, just spam takedowns the whole fight, instead of using his reach advantage, his striking advantage. Same gym as Louis Sutherland. I've got a conspiracy theory that their coaching there is not good at all. But got the job done, Mario Pinto, an absolute stinker of performance, but he's still undefeated, 12-0. Just Marab maxing knees against the clinch, spamming takedowns. Felipe Franco did a good job to defend. Didn't really do much himself. Yeah, Mario Pinto got his way to an easy decision win. Couldn't really get Felipe Franco down. Whenever he did, it was always at the end of the round, or Felipe Franco would just pop straight back up. Not a good look for Mario Pinto. Maybe we've overhyped Mario Pinto a bit. He's only gone out there and beaten Austin Lane and Jonathan Deniz. Not the best level of comp, but he's only young himself, undefeated. I'm sure he'll look better in his next fight. And due to the depth, the lack of depth in the heavyweight division, we're probably going to have to give Mario Pinto someone ranked. And if they do that, maybe a guy like Shamil Gaziev, Vitor Petrino, Derek Lewis if they want to push him that high, because Derek Lewis, wow, what a stinker that was in his last fight. Or if they want to slowly build him, maybe an unranked guy like a Peterson, Asplund, someone like that. Who knows? But Mario Pinto got the job done. Very boring, but Franco didn't do anything to steal the fight. You know, the rounds could have been easily stolen by Pinto just stalling against the cage, spamming takedowns. But Pinto was the guy in control, leading the fight. Did the damage in the clinch, knees to the body, a couple of knees to the thigh, boring shit like that. Yeah, real stinker from Mario Pinto. I was expecting big things from in this fight. And for Felipe Franco, just move down to light heavyweight. You're gonna get another fight in the UFC. Very smart from him. And honestly, I was scared for Mick Parkin pulling out, but low-key Mick Parkin would have beat him if he'd performed like that. Yeah, 12-0, dodgy win. Move Felipe Franco down. Maybe give him a guy like Julius Walker or someone at the bottom of the barrel of the light heavyweight division. Or if he wants to stay in heavyweight, he may have some success because, let's be honest, these are just a bunch of fat blobs, bar a couple of them like Mario Pinto. He would have some success against lower ranked opposition. Kind of not a fraud check because he won, but dodgy looking performance from Mario Pinto. Strange game plan to try and just spam takedowns on a grappler like Felipe Franco, but he got the job done. 12-0, 12 or 13, and I'm pretty sure he's 12-0. Got the win against a low level guy. Not the greatest look though. Moving on. Oh my days, Nathaniel Wood, what a fucking goat. Nathaniel Wood goes out there, proves everyone wrong, beats the Chinny allegations, and dominates. No, he didn't dominate Lasin beats Lasin Kita. People calling it a robbery. It's not a robbery, bro. What did Lasin Kita looks menacing. He just stands there menacingly like MVP. He doesn't really throw much. Yes, he clipped Nathaniel Wood, I think, at the end of the second, but Nathaniel Wood was out volume maxing. It's like watching Max Holloway in his prime there. Leg kicks, chopping the leg, fuck the leg of Lasin Kita up. Out damaged him on the feet. No, he didn't out damage him. Just out pointed him, out volumed him. Landed the more dangerous strikes to the legs. But Lasin Kita did rock him, and I can understand the 29-28 split decision, but I think Nathaniel Wood's done enough now to deserve these kind of not rigged, but like decisions go his way. And finally, he deserves a ranked opponent. He's shown he's an elite, not an elite striker. He's a good striker. He can hang with guys like Lasin Kita, Jose Delgado, real prospects in the division. He's only getting better. The grappling wasn't tested. I would have liked to have seen him shoot some takedowns on Lasin Kita. He's had problems in the past. You know what's gone. Lasin Kita looked alright. Clearly got power, but he's always looking for the KO. Maybe if he'd have popped the jab a bit more, some body kicks, trying to set up these big KO strikes instead of just going heavily for them, he would have had more success against a guy like Nathaniel Wood. But Nathaniel Wood showed his experience, his class, out volume Lasin Kita, heavy on the low kicks, heavy on the jab, got the decision win. And I would like to see Nathaniel Wood finally get a ranked opponent. Against an Onama, a Pitbull, and Emmett, anyone like that in the division. We need to see Nathaniel Wood finally get a ranked opponent. Done more than enough. Would have been on a 7-fight win streak if Naimov didn't rob him. Give the guy a ranked opponent. And for Lasin Kita, give him a guy on the verge of the rankings like, let me think. Giga Chikadze, Danny Ige, Sean Woodson, someone like that on the edge of the rankings. Because he's a decent fighter himself, Lasin Kita, but needs to like he's a bit like Diego Lopez against Volk, you know. He was just solely looking for the KO strike, and an intelligent fighter like Nathaniel Wood will be in the division or just constantly move, use their footwork, pop the jab, pop the low kicks, and just get their way to a decision when it gets Lasin Kita. Decent prospect, but a crafty vet performance from Nathaniel Wood, and we will be in the rankings this year. Oh my days! Fight of the night: Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. What a fight this was! Really hyped the crowd up. It was getting a bit stale. I'm not gonna lie. Mason Jones absolutely stole the show. It's Axel Sola, an incredible scrap. Mason Jones went out there early, put the pressure on Axel Sola. It was a very back and forth fight. Mason Jones would land a combination. Axel Sola would land a combination. Absolute war. I thought Mason Jones nearly got him out there in the third. That little bit of volume towards the end of the fight. Oh, I'm remembering now. Axel Sola. I think it was a spinning elbow he landed on Mason Jones. Dropped him at the start of the second. Incredible performance from Mason Jones. Showed real heart. Axel Sola as well. Mason Jones was the better guy on the night. Both these guys are good prospects in the division. Mason Jones got the job done. Very good back and forth fight. Lots of volume, lots of power, very technical. And Axel Sola arguably outgrappled Mason Jones. I expected Mason Jones to go out there, get some takedowns on Axel Sola. Yeah, Mason Jones, as Mason Jones does, shows heart, aggression, and goes out there and outdogs you. And Mason Jones is kind of like a Chris Duncan in this division. That'd be a crazy fight. I'm not saying that should be next because you got Chris Dunker versus Moicano coming up. Yeah, what a fight that is. But for Mason Jones, I would like to see him get a guy on the edge of the rankings. Maybe if he wins that, gets a ranked opponent. And tell me this is not a banger. Mason Jones versus Alexander Hernandez. What a fight. I could see Mason Jones getting a KO there. And Axel Hernandez? Alex Hernandez. Mason Jones is a very fun fighter. Brings it every time. Good grappling. Solid chin. Very good volume. Good power. Likes to mix it up. Throw some head kicks every now and then. Very good. Very fun fighter to watch. Yeah, deserved fighter of the night. Axel Sola could have won it himself, But Mason Jones stole it in the third. Very good fighter, Axel Sola. I've gained a lot of respect for Axel Sola. I actually quite like Axel Sola now. Did very well in there, landed some solid kicks on Mason Jones. Sat him down, as I said earlier, in the start of the second. But Mason Jones was just in his face constantly with the volume. Cut him open real bad on the eye. Yeah. It's a tough loss for Axel Sola. Is now no longer undefeated. For him, I'd advise him to take some time off. Took a lot of damage. And when he comes back, takes on a guy decent in the weight class, maybe like a Mike Davis, a Matt Frivola, someone like that. A solid name in the weight class. Very good fight. Deserved fight of the night. Both these guys are fucking incredible. Lots of heart. Incredible fight. Very deserved fight of the night. Moving on now to the main card. Oh dear. Curtis Campbell. We all picked the Pink Panthers to go out there and outgrapple Danny Silva. It did not happen. Danny Silva looked incredible. Defended all the take. No, he didn't defend all the takedowns. Stuffed a lot of the takedowns, especially at the start of the second. Yeah, just put the fucking hooks on. What am I saying? Went out there, landed a clean hook on Curtis Campbell's chin, sat him down. Curtis Campbell got up, then sat him down again. Curtis Campbell up again, sat him down again. It's a pretty brutal finish. Good heart on Curtis Campbell to not go out cold and want to continue on, but yeah. Curtis Campbell tried to smudge him at the start. He did get him down. Danny Silva kept getting back up. Threatened the back a lot, Curtis Campbell at the start, but Danny Silva showed good grappling defense and just his crafty experience and solid striking, and just put the pressure on Curtis Campbell, backed him up against the cage, threw a couple of nice hooks on him, and put him down, and got the KO win, a big upset win in the enemy territory. Pretty quiet on the mic, pretty poor interview. Didn't really call anyone out. Didn't make the most of the chance. Opened up the main card of a big crowded arena. You will probably be on the Apex next, kid. But impressive win against the prospect, Curtis Campbell. For Danny Silva, no, Danny Silva had a good fight against Kevin Vleos. Let's not skip past that. That is why people were picking him. I was tempted to pick him. Sure, he can hang with incredible strikers in the division like Kevin Vleos. Didn't get chinned by Kevin Vleos. We've seen the kind of run Kevin Vleos has been as of late, going out there destroying Emmett and Giga. Danny Silva's a solid fighter. Showed good takedown defense, power in the hands, quick on the feet. And for him, I'd like to see him take on Luke Riley, guy in the co-main event, make that on that Las Vegas card on International Fight Week. Luke Riley wants on it. Danny Silva probably want to take a bit of time off after his win money, improve on the grappling a bit more, just train. What am I saying? Shut up. Danny Silva would like to go out there, probably take on a big prospect again in Luke Riley. He's already beat one Scal, so trying to take them all down. Yeah, it'd be a good fight for Luke Riley. Danny Silva's a solid fighter in this featherweight division, same as Luke Riley. Has seen the grappling, maybe could exploit that against Luke Riley. I would like to see Danny Silva take on Luke Riley. For the loser, Curtis Campbell, yeah, we need to take a step down, buddy. Take some time off, improve that striking. You're only 23, there's time. Give him some bottom of the barrel guy like Stephen Nguyen or however you say the name. Anyone like that in the division. Not soon though, Curtis Campbell, please take some time off. Took a lot of damage in that fight, in the finishing sequence, and yeah, the striking isn't there yet, sadly. Good grappling, but striking isn't there. As Danny Silva said in his interview, this is MMA, not wrestling. Roman Dolidze versus CLD. Good performance from CLD. I expected this. Dolidze can't strike. All he can do is grapple and pull for legs, which is what he did. He tried to do, with that laying there on the ground, kind of gay. CLD outstruck him, too fluent on the feet, too word vibrant, kept mixing up the strikes. CLD couldn't get near it. I like the footwork of CLD. It's kind of like an MVP, but he actually throws punches. MVP, that guy that just doesn't throw punches. Yeah, very good performance from CLD. He will be ranked now. Went out there, destroyed Dolidze. No, he didn't destroy him. Round one, Dolidze had some success early on. Duncan got back up to the feet, outstruck him to the end of the round. Round two, I think Duncan dropped him in round 2. I can't really remember. I think he landed a knee, dominated Dolidze in round 2. Round 3 was a bit questionable. Dolidze got a takedown, held him down towards the end of the fight, but Duncan did enough in rounds 1 and 2 to get his way to a decision win. Good performance from CLD. I would like to see him take on Jared Cannonier. CLD are probably ranked number 12, 13. Cannonier is like number 10. Kind of a gatekeeper. And honestly, he could beat Cannonier with a vibrant striking. Cannonier doesn't really like to grapple much. I could see CLD beating the guy like Jared Cannonier. This middleweight division is wide open now. There's a bit of a logjam at the top. But that number like 15 to 10 spot is very wide open. We've got lots of guys moving up and down like Whittaker, Reina de Ridder. Real chance for CLD to go on a run. Obviously, we've seen him losing the past guys in the rankings like Gregory Rodriguez. Maybe he could run that one back. But we win from CLD, new prospect into the division. And for Roman Dolidze, bro, the 38, 37, 38, you can't strike. I would like to see you retire. I don't think he will. But he should retire. I don't think he'll be in the rankings anymore, even if he is. Give him a prospect like Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, go on a decent win streak, can grapple. That'd be a decent fight. Yeah, CLD, good performance in the home crowd. Went out there, outstruck Dolidze over 3 rounds. Had a bit of question marks in the grappling. That's still going to be there for CLD, but Dolidze can do that to you unless you're fluffy. But a good performance from CLD. Got the win in his hometown. Wow. Light heavyweight, Iwo Baraneski versus Austin Lane, and yeah, this fight was over in 28 seconds. Iwo Baraneski seems to be a decent prospect. Not too high on the hype train yet. No, he's only gone out there and beaten Ibo Aslan. He got rocked a lot in that Ibo Aslan fight. Ibo Aslan gave him some trouble. Austin Lane is bottom of the barrel, let's be honest. Moved down, the chin is only worse. A good performance from Iwo Baraneski. Landed a nice little hook combination, put Austin Lane down, landed some nice ground and pound. But Austin Lane is not good, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's not push Iwo Baraneski too high up the rankings. Obviously, 28 seconds, there's not really much to talk about. He just went out there, landed a couple of jabs, backed Austin Lane up, put a fucking nice hook combo, left hook, right hook, sat Austin Lane down, landed some ground and pound, and that was it, 28 seconds. And he's got some real hype now, Iwo Baraneski. I see him training with Jan Blachowicz, that's good, he needs to keep doing that. The legendary Polish power. And for him, I'd like to see him take on a guy on the edge of the rankings, or a solid fight in the division like a Ion Cutelaba coming off a good win against Umar Sy and Billy Alakana, someone like that. Keep the hype going. Seems to be a decent prospect here. He's undefeated, but I don't want to say he may lose his next fight. He's not fought any good comp, but there's clearly power in the hands, and he has a solid chin as we saw against Bo Aslan. Didn't take any damage, so he probably will be in there again pretty soon. Decent little prospect we've got there in this lightweight division, though. Iwo Baraneski destroyed Austin Lane as expected. I think Austin Lane, it's time to cut him finally. They may give him another fight in light heavyweight just because he's only fought once. Iwo Baraneski's a good prospect, but please just cut him in the UFC. No point keeping Austin Lane around. I think he's 38. Let's be honest, what's the point? Feature fight. People were begging for this to be the co-main event. People were begging for MVP to get a ranked opponent. For me, I'm begging for MVP to be cut from the UFC. Absolute terrorist performance from MVP. Going out there against a prospect in Sam Patterson. Just fainting at range. 33 strikes, 25 strikes thrown in the entire fight. I can kind of understand it from Sam Patterson. MVP is a good striker, or meant to be a good striker. Hard to hit, an incredible counter striker. Yeah, I mean both of them completely shit the bed. I'm not glazing Sam Patterson here. I like Sam Patterson. I picked MVP. Obviously, I'm glad the pick was right. But MVP, what the fuck was that, bro? You just stood there at range, dancing and staring at Sam Patterson. A disgraceful performance. Got the job done somehow. I mean, someone had to win. Really, he's just pushing Sam Patterson up against the cage, menacingly staring at him. Throwing an odd jab every now and then. I would have rather watched Holloway Oliveira, Islam Makhachev versus JDM than watch this shit ever again. I want MVP to be cut. He's 38 years old. The UFC don't like him. You can't really grapple. Sam Patterson nearly took him down a couple of times, and Sam Patterson's a mid grappler. Let's be honest. He's no fucking Ian Gary, no Islam Makhachev in this division. Cut MVP from the UFC, please. He's 38. You don't like him. Just cut him. And for Sam Patterson, 29. He's now second loss in the UFC. Looked like shit, let's be honest. Just completely froze up out there. Didn't really throw anything at MVP. I mean, the whole arena was booing from the end of the first round to the end. The terrorist fight. And for Sam Patterson, give him a guy like Santiago Ponzinibbio, someone like that. Decent name in the division, but yeah, not a good look from Sam Patterson, who's gone out there and had some fun fights recently. But this was an absolute stinker. Arguably the worst fight in UFC history. It's definitely up there. Put it with the Ngannou, Lewis, stuff like that. Carlos Esparza versus Namajunas. Absolutely horrible fight from two elite strikers in the division. Awful fight. Our main event, Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell. Decent performance as expected. Luke Riley went out there and beat Michael Aswell. Didn't get the KO, but Michael Aswell's a good striker. And I've not really took anything away from Luke Riley from this fight that I've really thought about him from the beginning. Luke Riley's a good striker, but a decent grappler will take him down and out wrestle him. Michael Aswell held him down. Did he hold him down? No, not really. Michael Aswell got him up against the cage, was stalling the fight out a bit. But a decent grappler like an Evloev, for example, I know this is the top of the division, but anyone in this division, like, what's the guy's name? Pat Sabatini would absolutely maul Luke Riley. A decent grappler in this division mauls Luke Riley. As much as he's a good striker, grappling's a glaring weakness. That needs to be majorly improved. Let's stop shitting on Luke Riley. I don't mind Luke Riley. But striking's good. Didn't get the KO he was looking for. Grappling's a big weakness. Just went out there and out volumed Michael Aswell for 3 rounds. Just defended a couple of takedowns, which was nice, but was getting held against the fence a lot. And I can see an elite fighter in this division and some good wrestlers in this division easily taking Luke Riley down, maybe even submitting him or getting a decision win. But Michael Aswell did well. Didn't get KO'd, was competitive with Luke Riley. It was a decent back and forth fight. Could have been 29-28, but 30-27 Riley, I thought it was. Clearly won all 3 rounds, landed the more volume, rocked Michael Aswell a little bit. Michael Aswell didn't really offer much on the feet. Shot a couple of takedowns. He was more looking to take Luke Riley down than strike with him, which is understandable because that's a glaring weakness in Luke Riley's game. But Luke Riley did enough to get the win. For him, I'd like to see him on that Las Vegas International Fight Week card. I've already said it. I want to see him take on Danny Silva, a decent striker in the division with solid grappling. I've not really taken much. I need to see Luke Riley go out there and fight and beat a good grappler in the division before I can put some real hype on his name. I see him going on about fighting Kevin Vallejos. You're nowhere near Kevin Vallejos, Luke Riley, sad to say. You're still undefeated, but a good grappler will beat Luke Riley, and for Michael Aswell, just some mid guy in the featherweight division. Like, I don't even know, bro. He's a solid fighter, only young himself. Did alright, did better than expected. A lot of people were expecting Luke Riley to go out there and KO him in the first. But maybe the pressure got to Luke Riley. Co-main event in his second fight. All the eyes on him, undefeated. Yeah, still got the win. Not as impressive as expected. Main event. Evloev versus Murphy. This was a very competitive fight. High level MMA. Let's just say it now. Movsar Evloev. I'm not. It's not ridiculous to say that I thought Evloev deserved this win here. If anyone deserved to win the fight out of these two, it would have been Lauren Murphy. But we have to say, with the circumstances, Goddard took a point away, which I don't agree with. 2 accidental low blows. Really, it's a bit harsh. I know if Lauren Murphy did that, I bet they wouldn't have took the point. The UFC clearly don't like Evloev. Evloev deserves the title fight. Let's be honest with ourselves. Whether you think it's a robbery or not, he's gone out there and beaten Lauren Murphy undefeated, Arnold Allen, and Aljamain Sterling. The 3 elite wins. Dan Ige before as well. He's got a real resume, arguably the best resume for a title contender. And he poses a good threat to Volkanovski. The grappling is high level, high level. He's honestly not a bad striker either. I thought Marcel Evloev rounds one, rounds 1, 4, and 5. However, as the point was taken away, it probably should have been a draw. But I'm not angry at seeing Evloev win. He was clearly the more dominant fighter and made it clearer in those rounds he won that he deserved to win. Took Lauren Murphy down at ease when he tried. Lauren Murphy did get back up, but Lauren Murphy didn't exactly put Evloev under any threat at all in the fight. Evloev cut Lauren Murphy. There was no real damaging strike landed from Lauren Murphy. All he did was pop a couple of jabs, decent leg kicks, defended himself very well, didn't let Evloev molest him on the ground. I thought Evloev outstruck him and outgrappled him and deserved the win, and honestly deserved a title shot. I do not want to see John Silver get the fight against Volk. Give Evloev Volk. And for Lauren Murphy, I think if Diego Lopez beats Steve Garcia, you book Lauren Murphy versus Lauren Murphy versus Diego Lopez, or if Steve Garcia wins, maybe give him Steve Garcia or the Aljo versus Yusuf Salau winner. Lauren Murphy's in a good spot. Proved he's elite, can hang with the best in the division. Didn't get dominated really by Evloev. Was a competitive fight. I just thought Evloev did enough to win. Yeah, Murphy proved a lot of people wrong. I thought Evloev was going to go out there and out grapple him, maybe submit him. Did alright, but Evloev did deserve to win. I'm saying a lot. It arguably should have been a draw, but really really, why are you taking a point away for two low blows that were accidental? It was unintentional. And Murphy didn't really deserve to win. Let's be honest. Murphy didn't put any real threat on Evloev. Didn't drop him. Didn't take him down. Evloev was the more dominant fighter and deserved to win, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow on TikTok, Twitter. Yeah, thank you again.